Okay, so we're continuing looking at the different attacks of the Yetzer Hara, and we're on page 165 of Harav Avigdor Miller's new translation and commentary of the Chovot Halevavot, and the subheading here is Beware of Complacency. The Chovot Halevavot is a model for very high standards. What the author is going to tell us now, although it's absolutely true in practice, most of us are not urged to follow it. The Yetzer Hara is going to persuade you to find favor with people. Let them see what a good man you are, how friendly you are, how frum, how observant you are, and learned you are, and try to make a good impression. That's why we talk to people, urge them to be good for their own benefit, and you should be good because you will. What will people say otherwise? We tell boys, when you learn successfully, you'll get a good shidduch, that is a good partner or wife. You'll get a good position. You'll be well known in the community. We always urge people on the basis of benefits they'll get out of doing good things. That's the way to deal with people, otherwise they won't budge. The Chovot Halevavot is talking to people of a higher caliber. So we're going to continue to say the reason I'm not going to shout at my wife is so the neighbors think I'm a nice fellow. We'll try to act nice in our home and make a good impression on people. The reason I won't dress in wild clothing in the street is because I want to make a good impression. Nevertheless, it pays to learn the Chovot Halevavot and know what is actually the right way. We wish to do the will of Hashem. We're studying the ideal and keeping it before our eyes, although in practice we're not going to follow the Chovot Halevavot. And the Yetzer Hara will take advantage of your complacency and say, how happy am I with your conduct, your strong beliefs and your sincere devotion to Hashem. You will reach a degree of piety. You have reached a degree of piety not attained by anyone else in your generation. As a result, you have done more than enough to show your gratitude to Hashem for His kindness and His goodness to you. You really don't owe anything to Hashem because you're doing everything in the right way. You're even demonstrating your gratitude by you're paying Him back for all that He did for you. So the Yetzer Hara, in a very clever way, is encouraging a person who is observant to be put in a place where they may be tempted to rest on their laurels and take their foot off the accelerator just ever so slightly. And that's all the Yetzer Hara needs. And so the Yetzer Hara, rather than rebuking a person when they're doing good and following and obeying the Torah and studying the wisdom of Hashem, it will compliment you, it will encourage you, and it will tell you how awesome you are, to the point where you might be tricked into thinking, yeah, I am pretty awesome. And I'm more awesome than the next guy. And this is all the cunning deception and a cunning ploy of the Yetzer Hara to get you to ease off and to put yourself on cruise control, as it were. Okay, the subheading here is payback time. The Yetzer Hara may say that the time has now come for you to also pay back some of your obligations to other people. So here now, the Yetzer Hara is slowly turning your motivation from serving Hashem to a motivation that's serving people for benefit. You're doing your duty to Hashem. Now you have to think about whether you're fulfilling your obligations to mankind. Well, what the Yetzer Hara is trying to pull over your eyes is that your devotion to Hashem and your commitment to Hashem is already a huge fulfillment of your obligation for mankind. This is why the Vilna Gaon is often cited as being a little bit unfeeling towards his family members, his children, because he didn't waste any time. He didn't engage in idle speech. I think there's a story where his sister was separated from him for over 10 years, I believe, and she finally made the long trip back to see him. And when she met her brother, the encounter was quite short. He said, "How are you?" And she said, "I'm well. How are you?" And he said, "I'm well." And that was pretty much it. And she was very disappointed. But he knew on a higher level that on his level that he operated on, every second that he spent doing something had a huge impact on mankind. All right, let's continue. You're ready you're already doing your duty to Hashem. Now you have to think about whether you're fulfilling your obligation to mankind. You know the way you behave to mankind. That's going to be the case. That's going to be the cause, rather, for your success or your failing. It's clear that when people will favor you, that will be your glory, and when they get angry at you, it is to your detriment. So here the Yetzer Hara is trying to subtly change the core reason or the core motivation of a student's whole standing and structure in what they're doing, to move from being somebody who is pleasing Hashem to somebody who is pleasing man. We'll leave it there, and we'll have a look in the next video what else we can find.